Welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast, folks. Episode 116.
The big 116,
They didn't
baby.
think we'd make it to the big 116.
Not a single person.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Welcome to the show. My name is John.
My name's Dante.
We got a lot to go over here, folks. We got a bunch of news. We're mainly going over Raw, and then I'm going to kind of save SmackDown for last. It was a fantastic
very good.
Raw.
They keep getting better.
I'll tell you this. You were talking about how your favorite match, and I didn't disagree. I didn't really think about it, but I think I was probably in agreement. In hindsight, that your favorite was, I believe, Sammy Punk. It
was a great match.
Raw era.
Loved it. Yep.
This show, we'll get into it. This show did have my favorite match.
I saw your tweet.
Yeah,
I can't wait to talk about it because it was a fucking awesome match.
Well, we're going to get into it, but before we really dive in, a couple plugs off the bat. One, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. It is an entirely bonus and separate podcast from this main feed podcast where it's mainly a wrestling Q&A. We're also going to talk about the Super Bowl over there and a bunch of,
some money we may have won or lost. Or,
oh, yes.
we have some bets to talk about.
You don't seem too... I couldn't read your face.
I'm in a comfortable place. I'm not getting kicked
lost
out.
so much and
I'm
won
not
so
getting
much.
kicked out of my apartment.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm excited to hear about it.
I can still pay rent this month.
And then I think those are all the plugs. And subscribe. We have merch in the description. You know the deal. All right. Without further ado, let's get right into it. I do want to start off with the biggest news. We have a bunch of I'm going to use the term releases, but 3 huge AEW releases.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with the one that's not really a release, just the contract was up and he's a free agent. Malachi Black.
See you in the Rumble. See you in the Rumble.
People... the comments, are you referencing my tweet?
I am. Well, people are like taking you seriously.
All the comments
bro,
are
the Rumble was 2 weeks ago, idiot.
The top comment is like 700 likes, and it's like, who's gonna tell him?
Oh, are you
it's
kidding
all
me?
just like, yeah.
Bro, people can't understand sarcasm in the slightest.
I didn't reply to it, but I almost put like a little just like reply to like the general whatever of just like, I wouldn't everyone in the comment section sense of humor I would not wish on my worst enemy. Holy shit! Everyone is so unfunny,
trolling or just not getting the
and
bit.
like 9 people sent this stupid
1.5k likes.
Does he know? Yeah, I fucking know. We streamed it for 5 hours.
What is your regular tweet?
Like 6.
Oh wow, I didn't realize.
Wow,
people
crazy.
Really did fucking take offense to that.
But yeah, that's the top one.
What the fuck?
I like this. This one said, I found Ron Killing's alt account. And then R-Truth replied, I only have one account.
What the fuck? That's so funny.
But like the amount of people that are just like, you mean Chamber, right? This guy, you're going to have him wait 1 year? It's like, brother.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Maybe people are really are holding on to the whole Rumble, not the Rumble, the main event take thing, and really just like, oh, wow, like adding on to like, oh, he said this, and now
everything
he
they
thinks
say is, yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
But yeah, Malachi.
It's a joke. The Rumble's gone. We know the Rumble is 2 weeks ago.
Insane, dude.
Yeah. Anyways, Malachi Black. Before we get into everyone else, I think this is the most like guaranteed, like he's coming back to
I'd
WWE.
say so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just like his white fizz in WWE. He came from WWE, and like I think it's just writing on the wall. He was so fucking amazing in NXT when Triple H was running the show, and then you know came to the main roster, and things weren't as successful for him as NXT. And I think now just with Triple H running things and a few years later, I think he's going to be welcomed back with open arms, obviously. Yeah. And I think if he did sign with WWE, they'd treat him more well or prominently than they did last time around.
WWE right now is like kind of, and I emphasis on kind of, missing their like dark, creepy, spooky character.
Yeah, Wyatt Six haven't been around in a while.
Yes, you have the Wyatt Six, but like their like spookiness and scariness have worn off. But you don't have that demonic being that like the Undertaker filled, or that a Bray Wyatt would like tend to fill.
Or at least one that's consistently on TV.
Exactly. Yeah, that too. So I think like, and there's obviously like, there's people that do like the darker and scarier thing or whatever, but like that real like slot, I think that's missing. I think Malachi Black can fill that very well.
I mean, the last character he had before being released was like this demonic. He was like reading like the Bible and was starting. I saw the clip like yesterday from the last like appearance he had, and it was like so sick, and then he gets released. So it was like, all right, we did nothing there.
I keep seeing the clip of him diving over the announce table attacking Seth.
Yeah, they had a fucking great feud too.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I do want to make note because everyone's just gonna shit on it, but like did he have the best AEW career? No. Did he have the worst? I don't even think he had a bad one.
No.
The House of Black were like pretty prominently featured. Do I think that he deserved a singles run? Do I think that he deserved to be in the world title picture? Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's a difference. Like, he had a successful run in the sense of like he was always he was featured. The group was prominent.
He had a solid career, maybe not a good one.
But you can say that he like his solo singles career didn't match up to the House of Black, which is fair, right? I think as a group it did well, but on his own doing solo stuff, he wasn't given the opportunity. Like there was a thing, it was like he hadn't had a singles match in a year or something.
I would have loved to see way more singles Malachi Black going up, like Malachi Black versus Swerve Strickland.
His match against Edge or Cope, was great, and it was like I would have loved to see him have a TNT title run, even if it was like a month or two. I think that would have been cool.
I agree, but yeah, I'm with you. I think he'll be welcomed back with open arms. He's a free agent. I mean, as far as I know,
I don't know how
which
like
isn't
the clause
that. I was gonna say, as far as I know, which isn't that far. Malachi, I know for a fact is a free agent. Miro and Ricky Starks were the other two names we're gonna talk about. I don't, to my knowledge, AEW doesn't have no compete clauses.
Yeah, I'm not 100%.
I'm not 100% sure either. But yeah, so that's Malachi. Unless you had anything else on Malachi,
no.
But I don't. There's not much else to say other than like
We'll just wait to see if he shows up. Honestly,
my guess is
it's a weird time of the year.
My guess, exactly,
because Mania's in 2 months, so it's like you're gonna bring them back and feature them prominently, but are they going to make the WrestleMania card? So it's like, do you want to do it now or wait until after Mania? Because then you do all the post-Mania surprises and shit.
I say wait. I say do it on the Raw after Mania, which sucks because that is like, nearly 2 to 3 months, but
at the same time too, like
you could do it though.
You could. I think
they're doing it with AJ.
That's true. I think too, like with SmackDown is their roster's pretty depleted right now as far as like big name guys and like whatever. So him being one of the examples, like bring him back early and just put him on SmackDown and just like let him run shit. And then if he falls into a feud going into Mania, he does. But I don't know. It's kind of a tricky...
He's 1,000% going to Raw.
I mean, they're going to
put him on Raw.
That's where they're putting everyone. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm excited to see if he shows up and if he does, when he will.
I agree. I really don't have a prediction. And again, like they're doing it for AJ Styles. That's like, it's half hope. It's like, well, they're doing it for AJ Styles. So they can run a month or 2 month, whatever story. Yeah. But the other side of the coin is like, they're doing it for AJ Styles. How many new people are going to try to, get in on the card? Sure. I don't know. But either way, I'm excited.
Yeah.
The other two names that are more releases or just splits or come to terms with each other, whatever you want to call it. We have Miro and Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
So I saw the Miro stuff earlier, whatever it was yesterday.
Yeah, I think that like they mutually agreed or something like that. Maybe.
I didn't see. I was on stream and someone mentioned it, and we were talking. I was like, oh, Miro, Malachi Black, whatever. Someone in the comments was like, and Ricky Starks too, and I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't see the Ricky Starks.
Yeah, that was the last one to come out. Because Malachi Black has been a rumor for a little bit, and I think it was basically confirmed a day or two ago.
Both these guys have been notably unhappy 100%. As well. Like Miro, I think was definitely...
Miro was one of those, like, we're just waiting for that tweet to come out. And Ricky, I mean, that's the interesting one, because for months it's been like, he hasn't been on TV, then he showed up on independent promotions, and it's like, oh, but he's still doing...
he's like the current Defy champion right now.
So it was very... like, why isn't he being used? Is he hurt? Obviously, he's not hurt because he was wrestling. And, now they agreed to part ways. I don't know what led to that happening. Maybe the contract did run. I don't know. I don't know how that led to be, but either way, he's free.
I do think Ricky was definitely an inevitable. I think I'm definitely just shocked it happened now. Like I think we've all been like waiting for it, obviously with the Cody connection and you know him.
I mean, he was at Mania and the Rumble and shit like that last year.
I think he was basically he was expressing a lot of his displeasure. I want to say it was Chris Van Vliet on his show. But yeah, these are both crazy. I mean, Ricky is born and bred for NXT.
I think he's a shoo-in for NXT. They need to put him on NXT because they've
him and NXT is fucking.
They need
money,
another
dude.
big male superstar in there. I think he's perfect for NXT. Miro, if he does come back.
Miro, I'm curious if he's coming back. WWE.
Yeah, that's the one.
I've seen a lot of people saying maybe TNA.
I can see both. Honestly, I can see it like. Because coming back to WWE, it's a situation of like, is he going to be used prominently? Because when he was in WWE, granted, it's different, leadership now and stuff, but kind of a sour ending, I would think, when he left. So is he? He'll of course be welcomed back with open arms, but maybe he takes his opportunities on the indies and see what he can do there, and then build himself up more.
A Miro indie run would be fucking electric.
Sick, dude. Yeah, that would be really cool. And that's a cool way for him to like, I mean, we know who he is, but like he hasn't been featured for so long. So like get the people talking again and everything.
Right.
And then
do what Drew and Cody did and others have done where it's like he's running shit on the indies, he's showing up everywhere and At the
same time, if Rusev Day shows up on SmackDown in 2 weeks, I'll be like, oh, this is cool. I'm hyped.
Yeah. And again, we're kind of alluding to it, but like as far as we know, which again isn't that far, but at least Malachi Black's a free agent for sure. Miro and Ricky, I don't think AEW do that. The no compete clauses. Right. They could show up literally at any time. Yeah. Ricky starts to be on NXT tonight.
Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows?
But yeah, crazy stuff. A little bit of a shake up in the wrestling world with AEW. A little bit of. I don't want to use the term clean in house. That's not what it is. These three are three of the best wrestlers going today. But
they're letting go of three people that could be disgruntled backstage and wanted out
that they knew they weren't using. So yeah, it's definitely if you're not using them, let them be free.
Hey, Ray Fenix, you're next.
That's the thing. Yeah, where's the fucking Ray Fenix call?
If I'm him, I'm looking at this and be like, what the fuck, man? Why am I still here?
He's fucking pissed. Yeah, I saw a bunch of people. There's like a photo going around of like Ray Fenix in a straitjacket or something. Yeah. I don't know where that's from.
I think he tweeted that out or something like weeks or months ago. I think that was his actual tweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, he eventually he's gotta be the next one up.
I will say this though, and like this is It sucks. It's almost coming at the expense of Ray Fenix, but like, this is me kind of just piecing things together and assuming a lot for the sake of it. But us not getting Ray Fenix immediately has allowed us to get this Penta solo run, and it's fucking awesome.
And we've talked about that too. Of like we're giving him the opportunity to like set himself apart, build his name up, and then it's like. Now, when Ray Fenix comes in, it's just like an extra boost or whatever.
When Ray Fenix comes in, I think keep them separate, even put them on separate shows.
Put Ray Fenix on SmackDown.
Woo! And then like after like 6 months of them like doing their own thing, then put them together. That's what I think the move is.
Obviously, they're both uber talented as solo stars and stuff. Both like Ray Fenix was a former, was it the internet? What was the
he had it for a little bit. Continental?
No, not
International.
International.
I get them mixed up.
International belt. He did have that for a little bit, so he was a solo champ, had a singles run and everything.
I like that.
So I think that both are very capable of doing so. I wouldn't complain if they put him as a tag team right away, of course, but I wouldn't mind if they kept them separate as well. So.
I agree. All right, let's go on to. I have a SmackDown list here. We're gonna move on from SmackDown. There's a couple like qualifiers there, but we're gonna put SmackDown at Raw last. Yeah, we're gonna jump right to Raw. Okay. For the third main show in a row, we had the Jey Uso kicking off with his entrance. This was great. I love it more and more every week. He has the little kid
when he does the
when they do the run
back. He's just like.
He did do that again, and like I love like credit to last week's Raw, whatever crowd that was for starting it. But I which this seems like it might be the end of it, but like he can't do that.
No, he can't do it every
time.
week. It was very cool the first time. SmackDown again was like, oh shit, we're still going.
Bring
That's
it back
awesome.
for the SmackDown
now
crowd.
We can't make this a consistent.
It can't. Yeah, it
we
can't.
all know that this could happen every week. We just can't. We can't water it down.
So Jey comes out, talking his, or he didn't even get into his promo. He was doing his running back thing. He was gonna yeet on the commentary table. Gunther comes out, attacks him. Yeah. Pat McAfee's, he was about to yeet
ripping
all
the
over
shirt
me.
off, slapping him.
Gunther took his jacket off. He was gonna throw it at Pat, and it hit some fucking kid.
Whipped it at a kid, bro. Yeah, is there an update?
Free seats.
Is there an update? Because I want to know if that kid was good. I hope they brought him backstage. I did see after.
They had to. Yeah, they set him up with some merch, and he went home with like a fucking handful of John Cena and whatever.
Maybe he kept.
Honestly,
kept
got it signed.
Yeah,
I did see. Brutal. He was like behind Pat McAfee, and like he was like laughing.
He looked and stuff behind. He was like, "Oh shit!"
So the kid was like smiling, laughing, but he was like holding his eye.
He definitely felt that for sure.
Not to laugh at the kids. I'm more so laughing at the situation, not the kids' pain.
Yeah, big time.
But yeah, no, that's crazy. But anyway, Gunther's beating him down, blah blah, per usual. Jey's left in the ring, Gunther's up the ramp, and then Jey's on the mic. So, I don't know if I should say this.
I shouldn't say this.
If I should say this. Gunther, I'll see you at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There we have it. We have our first official locked-in WrestleMania match, folks. Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship.
The idea of him and Cody is great, but like it's just so hard.
The story's already here.
The story's here, and it's like they're both baby faces, Cody and Jey. So it's like you're gonna tear the crowd.
We're not getting to heel Cody this Mania.
No, and it would like if in a different situation of possibilities for matches we could potentially, but like with Jey it doesn't make as much sense. So I like the idea of them locking in this match now, and then we kind of talked about it the Raw after the Rumble when he won. It was like this seems like they're setting up like a 2.5 month, 12-week thing of like them building him up, and like Gunther was like 10 weeks of hell, 10 weeks of hell. So like I like the idea of them like really building him up, and like I'm not saying he has to get beaten down every single week or nothing, but like make him fight that adversity and like make him become a better wrestler to beat Gunther. I like the idea of that.
And Gunther, like it'd be nice, like Gunther constantly like putting him down, like you're still not ready, or like Jey loses a match to someone and he, Gunther's like, you're not gonna beat me if you can't beat fucking
always
so-and-so.
Reminds him that he's a lesser to him and everything like that. I think that's the way to one, also like give Gunther more heel heat, and two, like make Jey the underdog, sympathetic babyface. Sure. So at first, obviously, when Jey won, it was a very mixed reaction and everything, and it's still pretty mixed, I would say, of Jey getting this title match. But I like the direction, and I really think this is going to surprise a lot of people. I'm optimistic that it will, but I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
Gunther just worked. Like the best Gunther matches have been with guys that are significantly smaller than him, guys who are. Like I wouldn't consider. Jay's like on the fence, a high flyer. He does some high flyy shit.
Sure.
But like, I think that's like the best we get out of Gunther. I have like 3 things here for this, to be honest with you. The first thing is one, like kind of you were alluding to, is a lot of criticism for this. We've seen Jey Gunther already, blah, blah, blah. That's the build of a fucking story, brother. Like not every story has to be them not wrestling until that match.
And then
you know how many times John Cena and Randy Orton wrestled?
And we didn't get it, but like, you know how many people were clamoring for Chad Gable and Gunther at last year's Mania? And you know how many times Gunther beat Chad Gable leading into that?
Exactly.
It didn't happen, obviously, but that would have been the same exact situation, you know? And people we got Sammy and people loved that, but people were really like, oh, that should have been Chad. And even I look back on being like, that still could have been Chad to win that.
For sure.
But not every single match needs to be a first time ever, like never before seen, never will see again. Like it's okay for people to have a series of matches,
and it's not like it's not going to be the same match. Like it's not,
and Jay's lost 3 times. I get that, but it's the build of like, can he finally? And if Jey loses here, then it's like, okay, then maybe we get him away from
yeah.
But it's like, I don't think it's crazy that they're having a 4th match. When again, like how many matches have Cena Orton had? Like they've never had a WrestleMania main event, but still, it's like you can have repeat matches. It's okay. It's okay.
That is actually a crazy stat. To see all those matches Cena Orton had, never a Mania match.
Never a Mania match.
Well, but this year though,
This year
we're getting it.
Yeah.
I liked the Jey Gunther matches. Like they were always solid. They weren't like ever. They're not like.
I'm not gonna say it's a match of the night thing or nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fine.
Which I think, again, to your point, I think we're really gonna see some Jey improvement. There's gonna be some step up. Obviously, Gunther on a WrestleMania show is gonna be Gunther times 10.
And also look who he's wrestling.
I like it.
It's like look who he's wrestling.
Right.
People are like, oh, did you see the match last year of Jimmy versus Jey? He's not fighting Jimmy. He's fighting Gunther. It's apples and oranges, guy. And I the match last year fucking sucked. There's no sugarcoating that. But we're not getting Jey Jimmy 2. We're getting Jey Gunther 4. But it's so different.
A little stipulation might be nice.
Maybe if Jey loses, he can't challenge for a world title or like anything. Street fight, no DQ. I don't know.
Super kick match.
No super kick match. No chops versus no super kicks. We got something.
It's a couple of things I had about this. While I think of that, how'd you like the graphics? I like them.
I'm a big moving graphics guy. I like the whole, they're in the cards. The cards
and
it had like G for Gunther, J for Jey. Yeah, I mean, listen, they're fitting into the theme of Vegas and the whole gambling, poker thing, whatever.
Some people have been saying, they've been kind of like analyzing the image. There's some criticism that maybe on little Gunther's card, there might have been some AI usage, which I don't love and support.
I'm not... I agree.
Which I should say I don't love it and I don't support. But overall, like just real zoomed out look. Like I hope they're using real artists.
Yeah.
But I like the overall theme and the idea of the graphics for sure
agree.
with the cards. And like Jay's card had like it was white and had his like
the
shit,
palm trees and shit. Yeah,
I think it's cool.
No, it's a nice touch.
God, I feel like I had like other two.
Gunther beating the shit out of him. It was a cool like little brawl they had and stuff as well. I don't know what.
Yeah, I guess we'll move on. But I thought I had more about
if it comes to you.
Yeah, Jay. All right, yeah, whatever. I won't stay on it. All right. Next, we got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Io Sky and the returning Dakota Kai of Damage Control.
You want to take the reins on this one?
Rocks.
It was a fucking awesome
I don't want to take the reins. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it together. All right. I really loved this match. First of all, welcome back, Dakota Kai.
Yeah, welcome back.
This is I'll get to it. Wait.
We didn't talk. This kind of went with the AEW stuff. We didn't talk about the WWE releases at the beginning either because there were a few there.
Yeah, there were.
I only thought about
You're
this
right.
because Zoe Stark did the drop kick that gave Dakota the concussion, and she was in the group with Sonya, who got released. That's why I thought we can talk about it later. I just
remind me after we talk about this match. We'll talk about it.
I'll pull up the stuff.
The obvious sentiment is like one, it obviously sucks. These people lost their jobs.
It's not one of those. I'm not excited to talk about it. It's a very somber.
I don't have much else other than it sucks. They lost their jobs. Unfortunate, and I hope the best that they can. Whoever wants to continue can continue.
Absolutely.
And whoever wants, whatever.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after. That popped into my mind.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, before this match, backstage we did get, which we'll talk about later, so it did bleed into something that happened later in the show. We got a little Io and Rhea tease where Io was this is what I love about it. It's so respectful. They're friends at the end of the day, but it's still they're still a competition. Io still wants that world title.
She was like, "You fucked me over."
It's literally like, "You cost me the Mania match. I'm coming for you." And Rhea was like that. Justified.
That's fair.
Justified.
Fair. Yeah. And they announced that it's Raw after Elimination Chamber. They're having a world title match.
Right. I have that. I have that a little later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. Which I also don't love.
Yeah.
But coming back from commercial in this match, the match started out good. Coming back from commercial, they kicked it into fucking sixth gear, brother.
Oh, they started.
This was fucking electric. And like it was just it's a non-title. It's just, there were no real stakes necessarily. But they fucking decided to go out there and have a banger, dude.
I mean, Io and Liv, you've talked about how great chemistry they have.
Like underrated chemistry, doesn't get talked about enough. Liv Morgan doesn't get talked enough in general.
And
about her
Liv,
in-ring.
I think,
she's unreal.
Because we're talking those two.
Yeah.
First of all, she got freaking busted open last night and just looked like she was a machine. She just kept going right through, kept going. Dakota Kai obviously is amazing. I was fucking hoping she won the IC belt. That was my pick to win that.
We'll see her soon. We'll see her soon.
But and Raquel is like, the big,
Raquel played her role very well.
Plays her role super well. No, this match from start to finish was super well done. All four of them fucking looked amazing in this. Especially Liv. Want to give her flowers again. She got cut open and kept going, and she looked like a badass.
And even just flowers, and she does not get the credit enough for her in ring. She is so talented.
Genuinely talk about. I feel like her and Jey Uso are in the same camp. Like people disrespect them in the ring, thing. They're terrible wrestlers, but it's like they're not. Like Liv has improved so much over the years.
Liv's great.
Every now and then she'll pull out a move that's like I haven't seen that, or like where the fuck did that
there's
come
a couple
from?
of things happen in this match for sure.
So I don't get the hate that she gets because she clearly doesn't deserve it.
I agree. But yeah, this was what I was kind of getting at earlier. I'm pretty sure this is my favorite match of the Raw Netflix era so far. This
fair.
I for some reason it topped it, in terms of
I think that's
whatever.
a fair statement to make.
A couple things here. Io, I mean, this fucking when she hits this top rope missile drop kick, dude,
it's ferocious.
First of all, this was the highest I've ever seen. She kicks the shit out of the person, and she lands so hard and so flat on her back. It's crazy. And then she gets up, hits the fucking kip up with the fucking front flip or whatever.
I watched that. I'm just like, I'd be so unreal. I'd get the wind knocked out of me so hard if that was me. Crazy.
Liv and Raquel hit this crazy, which Cole was calling it an oblivion. I think it was more of a assisted top rope code breaker.
I thought that was the match right there.
I thought that was it. This fucking looked so sick. Liv got busted open. I believe it was when Raquel picked her up,
swinging her around. You could see she hit something and she immediately grabbed.
It looks like she must have hit. I think it might have been like on Dakota's her attire or whatever, some sort of metal or some shit. But I'll say this obviously. It was definitely a legit cut. You want the health and the best whatever. But fuck all that. She looked so fucking badass.
There's something about wrestlers with blonde hair, and you get the blood going with the hair and everything. That just makes them look like a demon, and I love it.
This was like I don't want to over exaggerate because it's not the same, and it's a little bit of a false comparison, but. I got reminded of when Nia busted open Becky, and that projected Becky into this like the man thing. That image of Becky in the crowd bloodied up was like iconic, and it was a huge turning point in Becky's career.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying this was as whatever, and we'll see the fallout. Who knows? But like. Seeing Liv busted open, all that blood, still going through the match, still doing her crazy moves, and like you said, the blood going into the hair. To me, it stepped up Liv Morgan into this next category of like badass. She's a fucking trooper, and it gave a lot. It gave a lot to her character of her being crazy and intense, and I think intensity is a great word for it. So I think again, I don't know if I'm overplaying it, but I really think her getting busted open was a similar moment to that.
Yeah, I think there's instances where like JD McDonough a few weeks ago, a month ago, where it's like accidents happen that wrestlers persevere through, and that just not only because obviously backstage you get the credit of like the fact that you did that and kept the match going, you earn the respect of your peers, the higher ups, whatever, but it's the crowd too. Like I'm not saying JD McDonough when he comes back is going to get cheered by everyone.
I think he will.
I think he's going to get a fair amount of people that are going to be rooting for him because like that's an incredible, especially now knowing what happened. Like ribs, punctured lung, kept going, and Liv, like to a lesser extent, she didn't puncture her lung or anything, but like she kept going. You have this badass image of her. I'm not comparing it. I'm not gonna say it's on the same level as a Becky, but the image is still like you see that image,
right? That's what I mean.
You get that.
It's a similar idea.
You look at them in a different light of like, in that case, like, Becky's bleeding now. She kept going. She looked badass. Liv got bust open, kept going. That looks badass. So I get where you're coming from.
They should use that image of Liv forever. With her. She was even back in the Judgment Day segment. I think I might have noted here, but she was with Dom or whatever, and she obviously a little cleaned up, but they still kept a lot of the blood. You could see the fucking cut. That shit was it was deep and big cut.
It was a tough cut, man.
So funny, again adds to this like badass intensity. Crazy, if you want to say, of her just chilling backstage with an open fucking cut.
Crazy.
I love the move of like, let me do this segment with it, and then we'll close it up.
Yeah, you can get stitches or whatever for sure.
To wrap up this match, though, like you said, everyone shined. Io and Dakota got the much-needed W, which I honestly,
I'm happy they won.
I wasn't really expecting it or anticipating it. And yeah, it was a real banger overall. Again, the standouts being Io and Liv, in my opinion, but Liv and Dakota and Raquel also holding their own, looking great. And again, Liv needs more flowers. Io is standing on a mountain of flowers, which again, I think she's the best women's wrestler in the fucking world. And this is one of the matches that really was like, see, she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
This is great.
No, shouldn't be a doubt. All
right. Do you want to head to the sad stuff?
Yeah. All right. Let's change it up a little bit. So I have there were 10 superstars / managers that were released. So we have the Authors of Pain, Paul Elrig, Cedric Alexander, Sonya Deville, Blair Davenport, Isla Dawn, Giovanni Vinci, and the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, with a 10 superstars release. So
it sucks.
Just kind of like you never.
There's definitely some surprises in there. Some people who weren't being used as much.
Like Isla Dawn, she was in the tag team.
That might be the most shocking.
I'm just surprised. Like she was the only one that got. Like if I saw her, I figured maybe both.
Right.
Of them
then
would get released.
what's the plan for
solo run? I guess. And then Authors of Pain. They had their thing going with Karrion Kross. They were in that story.
Which I want to stake my claim here for everyone. I was pretty the Wyatt Six probably shouldn't have lost to the fucking Final Testament.
It didn't. Obviously it didn't mean much for the Final Testament.
Hindsight's 2020, admittly, but
it is one of those things where it's like they were just in a big feud, and it's like now they're let go. Giovanni Vinci, that's
a tough one.
That they built him up for a little bit as a solo guy, got squashed. Then disappeared.
The new character.
There was some report, like there was backstage stuff of him and reports of him and Ludwig because he apparently hit on Tiffany or something like that. So there's a lot of backstage reports that apparently led to him getting. That's why he got kicked out of Imperium, and I don't know.
I don't know nothing about that.
So he may have had some backstage stuff, whatever. But then Good Brothers, truthfully, you could have told me they got released like 6 months ago, and I probably would have believed you.
Well, I saw a lot of tweets about in terms of them, and this has been said for a while. It's like they got the best fucking gig. They were hired because AJ was, or they got rehired.
It was one of those signings,
and they were getting paid to just chill,
which is I wouldn't complain about that. But that was that group that was like, to me, I'm like, I don't know why they brought him back in the first place. Like I feel like
it was basically a favor.
Triple H brought them back because he felt bad that they got released from Vince and with AJ and all that. So, but yeah, those are the releases. Just kind of one we talked with.
No, it's definitely good to bring up because I wouldn't want to just ignore him. But yeah, it sucks again. To reiterate my sentiment, I'm sure you have the same sentiment. Is it sucks? Outside of like the wrestling world or the characters or the stories. At the end of the day, these people lost some jobs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that sucks. And we wish the best, and we hope
we'll see them in 90 days.
That's the thing.
WWE has a 90 days.
For those that want to continue, I'm sure we'll see a lot of them pop up in whether it be a TNA, on the Indies, AEW.
Absolutely.
Everyone who wants to find a home, we definitely hope they find a home.
Absolutely.
All right, with that said, let's move on. Let's continue with Raw. Bayley defeats Lyra Valkyria to qualify for the Elimination Chamber.
Yes, she did.
I got some. I got some.
Yeah,
whatever's
I'm
about
kind of
this.
50-50 on this. Truthfully,
the chemistry in this match didn't seem there in the first half. There was some weird miscues. Be it. I don't know, nerves for Lyra, who knows? But they got it back in the second half. Roxanne Perez was ringside the whole time, no interference, which I thought that was a shoe-in.
She was just chilling.
I do like Bayley qualifying for the Elimination Chamber. I think it makes more sense. I think it makes more sense over Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
I don't love Lyra, the Intercontinental Champion, in her first match as the Intercontinental Champion, just taking the pretty I guess for lack of a better term, non-substantial, pretty casual loss here.
Right.
They did, Bayley did kind of raise her hand, and like Bayley is the world, like a former world champion. Sure. But at the end of the day, I just don't love. At the expense of
Lyra.
It just didn't need to be Lyra.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think, like, standalone, I'm fine with Bayley being in the match.
Agreed.
It's just how her beating Lyra, especially since they haven't been booking Lyra since she won the belt.
That's the thing.
If it's a thing where she's been on TV,
give her a couple wins first,
and she's racking up wins, and the belt's being being showcased. Fine. It's okay losing to a former world champion. But it's the fact that, like you said, this is her first match, and you have her lose. Where I would have liked it if like Roxanne got involved, cost Bayley the match, so then Lyra wins. But then the next week, Roxanne has a qualifying match. I think it's against Raquel.
Yes.
Have Bayley get involved and have cost Roxanne the match. So two big names not in the match, but it's just there's a reason why, and they can continue their feud separately. Because now I'm seeing they're going to continue Bayley and Roxanne in the chamber, which I understand. They have a thing going, but I don't know. They're sacrificing certain wrestlers to make this happen, and I feel like they could have done it differently, personally.
We're talking about unfortunate losses, sacrificing wrestlers. We're going to talk about the main event later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this didn't even need to be Lyra. Like, I get having the IC champion in a big match qualifier does make sense, and if you're thinking rankings or whatever. But yeah, I didn't love the pretty just casual IC champ losing.
I mean, Lyra in the chamber too with the IC belt, I think would have been awesome. Would have been cool too, like having the IC belt there. But
we'll see. I didn't. Other than that, though, that's kind of all I got for that.
I just hope that they continue to have Lyra on TV and just have the belt showcased more. That's all I asked for.
I agree. We're getting announced for next week. We got a Pete Dunne versus Penta rematch, with some pretty obvious Ludwig is going to interfere, from the backstage stuff. But that'd be cool. I'm excited for I'm always excited for Pete Dunne and for Penta and Pete Dunne.
I mean, their match was great a few weeks ago, so I'm sure that they'll be great again.
AJ Styles, the returning AJ Styles, comes out, cuts a promo. It's really talking about his injury. A lot of welcome back chants, a lot of AJ chants.
Looks amazing, bro.
Yeah, he absolutely
is in phenomenal shape. No pun intended.
Really, you could tell how appreciative and emotional he was by the crowd welcoming him back. He was talking about how he was struggling with his injury, how he wasn't sure he was coming back, and then entered Dominic Mysterio and Carlito. This is this promo dragged on for me.
Yeah, it was just a standard give AJ a big heel to go up, to have a little mini feud with right off rip, and just kind of.
I did think this was maybe a Mania build, maybe Dominic versus AJ, but we're getting
that would be a great match. That they did announce
for next week. We're getting Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles, which will be a ball. I'm excited.
That'll be a great match. AJ put him over. He goes like, you're great in the ring, but you're just a punk kid or something.
You're just Rey Mysterio's punk ass kid. What I do like, not to jump ahead, but I'm sure I have it in the notes somewhere. I'm thinking we're getting maybe Finn AJ. There's a lot of connections. We're either getting Finn AJ, Braun Breaker AJ, because they had their little backstage stare down for the IC title, or actually, what's more likely? I'm thinking
there's going to be a big IC match at Mania. Like, I think there's going to be like 6 people.
Because there's also Finn and Dominic tension.
Right.
There's a lot of options.
Because Braun Breaker, AJ, Ludwig, Penta. I mean, you could put Pete Dunne in there because they're all those 3 are in there, and then you could throw in another guy. You can do a ladder. I don't know.
And then I think like Judgment Day, like straight up Dom versus Finn, I think can stand on its own.
Sure.
As much as I'd like to see Finn in the IC title picture,
I think you have so many people in this picture that I mean, I'd be cool. Oh, Sheamus, that's the guy I was thinking. Because I still am in the camp that Sheamus needs to be there.
As much as I want to see AJ versus Braun Breaker,
I think Sheamus needs to be in an IC championship match at Mania.
Agree.
I don't know. They need to have a multi-man match because there's too many people here that you can't leave them all off the card. Make it fun. Put everyone together.
Agreed. Wow. Yeah.
There's a lot of contenders. A lot of contenders.
Speaking of Finn, Seth Rollins was interviewed by Jackie Redmond, hypes himself up, hypes up the chamber, yada yada. Finn Balor enters, who Seth Rollins is facing next week to qualify for the Elimination Chamber match. They basically just hyped up next week. There's nothing crazy.
That'll be a great match.
Be a fun match. It does suck for Finn.
We know. we know who's gonna win this one.
But what first of all, stacked fucking Elimination Chambers. Both of them, men and the women's, fucking stacked. I just don't see Finn winning. No. I don't like. As much as I want to think like maybe there'll be CM Punk interference and like whatever, but I think they're not going to
pass up on having Seth, Cena, Punk, and Drew in the chamber.
It's so crazy.
They're not going to pass up on that. We'll get to it later, but
talk about that. All right, War Raiders versus the Creed Brothers.
Good match.
Solid match.
I thought this was solid.
Yeah, I think they have a better one in them. But this was a very good TV
throw together
match.
match that they just on the fly did it. I'm cool.
I kind of hated the ending. It ended just as the match was picking up.
As it was hitting another gear.
War Raiders were getting real dominant. Looked at maybe, they were about to hit their finisher or, a huge top rope move. Creed Brothers hit one of them with the tag titles, causing disqualification. Creed Brothers stand tall with the belts.
I guess it protects them from eating a pin, but
I get that the Creed Brothers are heels and it's a heel thing, blah, blah, blah. My problem is the Creed Brothers are supposed to be this super strong and dominant wrestlers. Yeah. They are the pure dominant heel wrestlers. Yeah. And I just the hitting the War Raiders with the belt to get the DQ just
it's a cop out.
It's a cop out. It makes Creed Brothers look pretty weak to me.
I also I like this match and I do think they'll have another one.
They'll run it back for sure.
But I don't think they should. Maybe they just shouldn't have had this match. Maybe you do something where the Creed Brothers just attacked War Raiders backstage or something,
or the War Raiders are in a different match and then Creed Brothers come out. I
don't think you had to. And again, we've talked about this. Them having multiple matches. You can have multiple matches or whatever. But I don't know. I think it would have been. It would have made more sense if you just saved that match maybe for a few more weeks and built up the tag team match instead of just giving it to us right away.
Yeah, like I said, my biggest, I just didn't love how the Creed Brothers looked coming out of this.
No, that's fair. They'll still be in the mix, I guess. So
they stood tall with the belt, so this will probably be. Who knows? This could be rammed back at Elimination Chamber.
Could.
I don't know, but I don't know. That's kind of all I have for that. Yeah. Speaking of a match that should probably be at Elimination Chamber, Rhea Ripley backstage says, "I don't owe you anything, but I owe you one. I'm going to give you a title shot, EO, but it's going to be in 3 weeks, the Raw after Elimination Chamber." And then EO was like, boom, see you there. What is this? What's going on?
I have my thoughts because to me, my thinking was at first they're going to have a last person qualifier. EO gets in there.
Right. I think that's what I and a lot of people were thinking.
Then, of course, they announced the last match, Roxy and Raquel. EO's not involved. Okay.
Right.
I started to think maybe they add a 7th person into the match.
Sure.
Because they did that for the men's years ago. I'm maybe they just do that. Doesn't look like they're doing that.
Yep.
Now I'm thinking, because there's no, EO has to be involved in a world title match. There's just no way. It's just not, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why she wouldn't be included. She has to have a match, but I think the only match she should be involved in is for a world title. I'm thinking, now walk with me.
Okay.
They have their match in 3 weeks. Some screwy finish happens.
Sure.
Maybe whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, let's say it's Liv. I'm not saying that's who I want. We'll just say Liv.
Yep.
Costs EO. I want Rhea one-on-one. Fuck you. That could lead to a story where EO gets added. It becomes a triple threat match.
I'm not mad at that.
That's what I'm holding on to now.
At this point,
I don't know what else they could do to get her
at this
in.
point, that's the only thing.
That's the only thing that could get her into the match.
I agree.
Also, you said it. Why aren't they having this? Well, to my point, what they said, Liv could cost her. They should be at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, right. I like your point. I like your thought process. But outside of that,
this match is a PLE
Why wouldn't
match.
they have this at Elimination Chamber? I get the four match rule, but you have the 2 chamber matches. You got 2. What else?
I think maybe Braun.
This would be great.
Yeah, I don't know what other matches they'd have.
Like I said, maybe the tag title match I could see, but this is a women's world championship match. Fucking have it at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, big
I don't
time.
understand.
Yeah, stripped away my fantasy booking right there. This match should be at Chamber, but if fucking somehow they follow the script and someone costs them, I get why. But
for sure,
that's the only thing I can think of how EO would get to the main title picture. They can't leave her off. There's no way.
Again, not looking to the future, just looking at this in a vacuum. What we're being given. It feels like a real consolation. Here, let's give EO this world title match. Right. Is it going to be at Mania? No. It's going to be Elimination Chamber? No. But people want the EO world title match, so
they're going to give it to them.
Here you go on Raw.
Yeah. I hope it's not just that, and then
they have too much They must, because I'm with you, and I'm trusting the process. We've gotten too much Rhea Io teases for like this to be the culmination of this story. Because I like that they're friends, but they respect each other. But there is some tension now, but it's all based in respect and whatever.
Right.
They're two of the most talented women in the business right now. I'm excited for the match. Like I'm
I guess
I think these two can put down a banger on Raw.
It also just might depend on who wins it, because let's say if Liv wins,
who wins the elimination chamber,
because Liv wins, I can see them doing that whole thing. But
that's the thing.
Let's say Bianca wins. Just throwing it out there. Let's say Bianca wins.
Ooh.
I don't think they give us a triple threat match there.
You know what though, But I like the idea more with Bianca with a triple threat, because Bianca and Io have had bangers.
No, I think the match would be 10 times better if it was a triple threat.
But
I'm saying it'll be like, people want Io Rhea. Well, we'll give that to them, but they don't know that we're giving them Bianca Rhea, and they're gonna love that just as much. So maybe that could also be the thinking. I think they should finish up the Bianca Jade thing on Smack. I don't think Bianca should get involved over here yet. I think they should clean up the story first, but maybe it really does depend on who wins the chamber.
I think, I definitely had that same thinking. I think we'll have a pretty good idea, or be able to guess better what's going to happen with that world title picture, depending on the winner. Like we'll come out of whatever that is on Saturday or Sunday, whatever it is. We'll come out of that being like, okay, this is what we're looking at. X, Y, and Z can happen.
Of course.
I had a similar reaction when this was announced. I was like,
initially I was like,
Raw, why
are they doing this?
I don't know. Or crazy, walk with me.
Io
wins. Io wins, and then Bianca, you thought you were facing fucking Rhea. You're running it back with me at Mania.
They could always do that.
Who knows?
They could always do that.
All right, we got a CM Punk promo that led into the main event, which we talk about all the time, how like it's so cool how like one segment leads into another and whatever. But CM Punk's out there, nothing crazy, but good. Punk puts himself over.
Shits on Cena, which I liked a lot. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, he was like the little time we had in the Rumble, like it's nothing compared to this, and like whatever.
I like that a lot. Every day, like you just like he's pissed that Cena just like announced himself in the match. Like, I worked for it. And it's like when we get in that chamber, I'm gonna beat you down and stuff. I loved it.
And he took shots at Drew, took a shot at Seth. And then it was basically just a promo to hype up him and the Rumble, which was good. Enter Logan Paul. His first line out the gate was, I see why they call you a punk.
I loved how Punk was just like laughing at a lot of the things Logan was saying. It was
whatever. It was a fine back and forth.
Logan
it was
Paul
nothing crazy.
Isn't meant to win a back and forth promo battle. With Punk.
He's supposed to be, as much as I'm rolling my eye, he's supposed to be corny and annoying. For sure. Whatever. That led into Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul to qualify for the Elimination Chamber.
Main event. Main event,
dude. 50-year-old Rey Mysterio. 50-year-old Rey Mysterio versus whatever, how old he is, late 20s. A Logan Paul in the main event of Monday Night Raw.
Who would have thought
to
that?
A qualifier elimination chamber.
Who would have thought that?
Fucking weird, dude.
Super weird.
I loved Ray and Punk kind of had a little moment, which was nice, coming up the ramp. This match was solid. Was cool. Again, not an all-timer, but it was solid. Maybe, I don't know if it was their best match, but
because they've had a few. I was going to say,
they got some history.
They had their tag team match at Mania, the U.S. belt they were talking about last night. Ray cannot get the upper hand of Logan.
As much as I hate to say it, Logan Paul is somehow Rey Mysterio's kryptonite.
Yep.
I will say at the very beginning of the match, he brushed it off, but Logan looked a little rusty. There's a couple of
he had the Rumble match, but hasn't had a one-on-one match in a while.
But they got together. Highlight for me, dude. Rey Mysterio, 50-year-old Rey Mysterio in 2025. Logan's up at the top, and he's got Rey, whatever. Rey steps up. Rey, which I don't care what commentary is calling it. I know what I'm calling it. I know what I saw with my own two damn eyes. Rey Mysterio in 2025 at 50 years old hit a fucking Batista bomb, brother. Holy shit.
The callback.
Oh my God.
The callback. What can he do?
Like the image too of like of like Rey significantly smaller, like
that's a crazy
holding
move
up for a power bomb.
It's a crazy move for him to pull off.
It was fucking. I lost my mind.
People
dude.
also had a field day on Twitter when Logan did the. He had Rey and he did the backflip, the fall away slam because Hangman does that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he does the buckshot.
I think,
yeah.
I think Hangman actually.
No, he does do that for sure.
I think he tweeted something last night or something because he has tweeted before.
I saw a tweet. This isn't a new. Well, it got re brought up the same joke, but someone said, wow, like judging by, Logan Paul must have really been studying Hangman over in Japan. Mm-hmm. Hey, if you want to see more about that, Google Logan Paul Hangman Japan.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's terrible. Yeah, where's his Twitter account? Does he? I saw a tweet. Someone screenshotted a tweet that he was said something ... after like last night or whatever. But yeah, because Logan Paul has used the buckshot, using this move now that Hangman has used, and people were just like,
he attempted the buckshot last night.
Yeah,
but he didn't
stealing
hit it.
Finishers, this and that, and like I don't know.
They just gave it's like in 2K. They just gave him Hangman's
yeah,
moveset.
and like listen, I definitely do like get that part, but I don't know. I kind of look at it like a complimentary thing as well, where it's like Logan Paul like is influenced by Hangman Adam Page and stuff like that. So I kind of look at it both sides of the token, I guess. Like I'm not as like, oh, he stole that, because no one has like a copyrighted move. Like in Will Ospreay does the Styles Clash in AEW now. Like the super Shawn Michaels had Sweet Chin Music. Now everyone does a super kick, and it's like watered down.
A lot of people doing the 619 these days.
The 619 gets. I don't think that one move, like yes, it can be synonymous with someone. Like I think of the Styles Clash, I think of AJ, but like other people use other people's moves, and I don't think it's a slap in the face necessarily, as it can be it could also be a compliment to the person that they're getting it from or getting influenced by.
See, I have a little bit different of a theory. I don't, and this is not, the way this is going to come out might sound disrespectful. Okay. It's not intended to. I'm gonna explain myself.
Okay.
I don't think Logan Paul knows who Hangman Adam Page is.
That also could be true. No, I'm sure.
I'm like not.
I don't think Logan Paul is an avid AEW watcher. Like sees what's going on in other wrestling companies.
Anything outside, even
maybe he does, but I don't.
And
that's a good point.
And it sounds disrespectful. It's not. It's the way I'm saying it isn't like, Logan Paul doesn't even pay any mind to. It's not that.
No.
It's what you said. Like, I don't think Logan Paul
cares
knows
enough.
Bullet Club Japan history.
I don't think
like,
Logan Paul cares enough about other wrestling companies and stuff to be where he's studying other wrestling.
More so, my guess is someone backstage is a Hangman Adam Page fan. Whoever trained Logan Paul is a Hangman Adam Page fan. Said, "Oh,
sure,
Logan, you would look good doing this lariat I found, or this top rope fucking backflip, whatever." And then Logan's like, "Cool, sure."
And it's not like
Logan's
That's my guess. It's not like Logan's like giving a smirk and winking at the camera before he does a buckshot lariat. You know what I mean? It's not like it's meant to be a jab or nothing like that. Again, people use other people's moves. That's just wrestling. It's hard. You can't just come up with moves. We're at a point in time where it's kind of hard to make new stuff now. It's like you're gonna see moves that people have used in the past. And I don't know. I'm a little bit more like
the backflip, like the fucking moonsault, whatever you want, whatever that move's called. I think less about. So I've also seen other
it's
people
not Hangman's move. I've seen other people do that as well.
The buckshot lariat is definitely synonymous with
yes. More so that like this, because I saw that and people were saying that. I was like, okay, like you have a fair point with the buckshot, but this now you're kind of reaching out. You're a little bit nitpicky now. I think.
Like I said, I think it's less Logan Paul. Whoever told them to do his move, or whoever trained him, I think that's more.
When he started training, I don't think, guys, I want to be exactly like Hangman Adam Page. I don't think those words came out of his mouth.
But to wrap this up here, and very admittedly, Logan Paul, speaking of finishing moves, whatever, Logan's new finisher, the Pulverizer, hate the name. Looks fucking sick. It was dude.
A very cool
He
move.
Flips him up and catches him into a DDT. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He probably can only do it against smaller guys.
I was thinking, I was like, I wonder how, if he could pull this, like let's say he fought a John Cena, like how is that going to look if he fought a John? It's perfect for Rey.
Right.
But maybe it's like one of those finishers that he'll bring out against like certain opponents or whatever.
People who can do it.
Can take it. Right. Exactly.
But it looked fucking awesome.
It was cool.
Logan,
takes two to tango, of course. Rey sold the shit out of it and helped him out with it, but it was very cool.
Logan ends up unfortunately beating Rey Mysterio to qualify for the Elimination Chamber, and then to go off the show, New Day run in and attack Rey Mysterio just as we're fading to black.
Then we get the Netflix end.
Yeah. So I mean, a couple that we'll stick on Logan, then we'll go to the New Day thing. I mean, yeah, as much as I'm always pulling for Rey. I mean, I would have. I get he's 50. He barely has any. His knees are made out of stem cells at this point.
Hey,
but like Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, Cena, all in the Elimination Chamber.
I know.
Oh, it would have made my heart warm.
It just, unfortunately, I mean, Logan Paul being in there too. It's like one of those things where it's like you're throwing someone in there that you know is not going to win anyways.
And we know we're going to see him do some crazy shit from the top, or he'll hit something off the cell.
Now it's just like
pod.
Because you have Cena, Punk, Drew, Logan, Rollins, or supposedly. Then we're going to need one more. Has there been another one announced? I think that's the only people.
As far as I know,
I could have missed something. I apologize if I did. Because now I'm thinking whoever is in that match is going to set up a Mania match with Logan. That's why I think he's in there. Because last year he set up the match, like he started the thing with Randy and everything.
He did toss out Punk in the Rumble. Could get Punk Logan straight up.
See, now it's like, Roman's not going to be in the match. So that's fine.
If Logan was in which obviously we know he's like not, his like next match is scheduled after Elimination Chamber. Like, imagine if Roman, like this would be an all-time. I mean, I think it's still going to be an all-timer, but
Roman
holy
isn't
fuck.
in it is because they're not going to have him eat a pin. Because he wouldn't win it, and he's not going to lose. Like, I can see him pulling a Shawn Michaels where he fucking comes out from underneath the chamber and like takes out Punk and Seth, or maybe just takes out Seth. So we don't have to get into this now, but like what could happen at Chamber. But I think this men's Chamber match, we're going to get like 3 matches out of it. Like we're going to get the World Championship match. I think we're going to get whether it seeds to that triple threat match or I'm thinking maybe if Punk wins it, we can get Roman Seth one-on-one and then the Logan match. So a lot's going to come out of this match.
We're going to, at bare minimum, have a better direction or figure out what the fuck everyone's doing.
1,000%. 1,000%.
What's Drew going to... Oh, I mean... Is it going to be LA Knight in the... No, he already lost his qualifier.
Yeah, he did. Unless they do a... like second chance one, but they didn't do that for the woman. I feel like if you're gonna do that for them, you have to do it for the woman as well. Yeah, they could, but that would be the Drew way. Feud. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Drew
curious.
wins it, and you do Drew, Cody. That would be something. I don't know.
It would be something. It's
gonna be interesting. I guess it depends on who the last person's gonna be. We gotta keep our eye out who that's gonna be.
Returning Randy
could be. Absolutely.
Oh, this was we finished Raw. This is I think I remember my point from the beginning of the show about Jey Uso.
Yeah.
All it was, which is pretty obvious, I'm just kind of just vocalizing it, is the good thing. I wasn't sure. I was a little surprised we got the Jey announcement already of who he's facing. I thought they were going to kind of tease it a little more as they've been doing it. But the benefit, we get that out of the way. We have Gunther and Jey locked in. Now we can focus on the Elimination Chamber. And now it's like, because that's what we were talking about in a couple weeks, was like, well, but who's he facing it up? Now we know, and Punk kind of made note of it too during his promo. He was like, we now know the direction the Elimination Chamber is related to Cody and the WWE Championship.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know who's going to be in it? Sol Sikoa. He's gonna be in the chamber. That's my guess.
Unless they fucking do Cody solo at Elimination Chamber, they might just have them go one-on-one.
I would rather. Yeah. Oh, that is my what. Yeah.
I'd rather solo just not.
I'm with you. Hey, I'm not
his own thing, but yeah.
But yeah, that was my point. It's nice too, and I'm sure we'll get the women's Rumble announcement soon, so we can focus on that.
Because that was, we saw the women's chamber because they announced them for SmackDown because there's both women from Raw and SmackDown. Yes. So that answered my question of like what's like it could be picking either, whatever.
Right.
So it is nice that we have a clear direction for the men's one at this point.
And then going back to it, New Day attack Rey going off the air. Is this what we're looking for with the main, with like Rey and someone versus the New Day?
Right. Yeah. Sure. I mean, it could be a tag team thing. Maybe they put, I don't know who they could put with Rey.
Is Rey Fenix going to be available by me?
Do they put Penta with him or something? Maybe it's like they have maybe like Rey's getting beaten down every week and Rey's like, I need help, and Penta's like, I respect you, I'm going to help you. And
I guess that would be kind of, as much as I do, I don't know. I think I want something. I want Penta to stay where he is.
Yeah.
I want something different out of Ray. Like Ray the past few years. Like last year, he had like the novelty match with the Kelsey brothers or whatever. Right. Or one of the Kelseys, whatever it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It might just be me being more hopeful, I guess, for like a Ray singles match at Mania.
Yeah, you'd hope for better positioning or like a better, more meaningful match. But
I do think New Day should be on the card for sure.
It is one of those things that you are putting him with like the biggest heels right now. So it's like it is like he's not with nobody, right? So it's at least you have that.
I'm not mad at it. It doesn't excite me. Mm-hmm. But I guess if we can figure out who Ray's partner is. If it's just Dragon Lee.
There could be a fucking lot. Yeah, it just could be Dragon Lee. There could be a lot of multi-person matches. There could be a multi-person tag team match for the Raw tag team belts, for the SmackDown belts, for the IC belt, for the United States. They could have 4 ladder matches this year.
You're right.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how they kind of who they group together for all of this.
All right, we're getting close to the end of the show. We're gonna breeze through SmackDown, more so just like what happened, and then that'll be the show, and then we're gonna continue, or not continue, but answering some questions and talking, whatever over on the patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. But with that said, we had, speaking of Elimination Chamber, we had Bianca Belair going over Piper Niven to qualify. Makes sense. Yep. Love it. I'm excited for Bianca in the chamber. Again, both the women's and the men's. Actually, can you get the for the women's what we're looking at in the women's?
I think
I think it's Bianca, Liv, Alexa,
and then Bayley.
Oh, and Bayley just qualified. I think that's it.
Yeah, let's see. I just had the graphic pulled up. Where did it go?
But yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Naomi. Or
we have a Bianca, Liv, Alexa, Bayley. For the woman, and then Cena, Punk, Drew.
Are there other? We might have talked about it. Are there other matches announced for women's?
So they have the Roxanne match next week.
Can I make note of it? Oh yeah, Roxanne, Raquel, and then I think there's one more.
Is there another one that we're forgetting?
It might not be announced yet. There might be one more. We might be forgetting one. I'm not sure.
We might be forgetting one.
But yeah, regardless, I mean, again, women's. This we could be in store for an all-timer chamber.
100%
for both men and women.
1000%.
Pretty deadly defeat DIY with a roll-up. They earn a tag title shot, which I'm very, very happy to see Pretty Deadly on TV. I'm excited to see them winning. I don't think they're winning the tag titles, but fuck yeah, dude, we're using Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, I like it.
We mentioned McIntyre qualified this past SmackDown. He's in the chamber. He defeated Jimmy and LA Knight. People are speculating LA Knight and Drew McIntyre is going to be the program. They made multiple references to the story, be it true, be it false. Who knows?
They played into it.
Drew storming off, being mad at LA Knight. They did have a spot where people were like, is this real? Yeah. They were kind of scrapping.
Drew said in his promo, like, I stormed out. I went home to my hot wife and I looked in the mirror. I was like, Drew, you're so hot. Like, why are you so angry all the time?
So funny. I went back to my hot wife.
I thought it was Jimmy Uso had a great promo too. I get more impressed with him as a solo
stepping
guy.
up, dude. Yeah, Jimmy's been killing it.
I'm very happy
he really has.
Starting to do his solo thing because he really does set himself apart. He's very entertaining.
I love Big Jim. Big Jim is so good.
He's hilarious. Yeah. I love it. I'm glad
Me too.
I'm glad he's doing his thing.
Carmelo Hayes went over Akira Tozawa. Fuck yeah, Carmelo Hayes dub. Finally. Holy shit.
If he lost his Tozawa, I'm like, okay, now we got to really have a conversation here. And they did the buried thing on the turnbuckle after.
Which I don't know if we need to do that to Akira Tozawa. We got a great Kevin Owens promo that they also rehashed on Raw with kind of the added editing. Kevin Owens in his car talking about Sami Zayn, really just going through, and again on Raw they did like clips of them in NXT and going through like, you were my friend and da-da-da.
A lot of history.
Like, he's like, I have to fucking kill you now.
That's a shame you're making me do this to you.
Yeah. That's
I'm
great.
excited for that.
I still don't know. Do we need a stipulation?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, you could just do like a street fight and just have them beat the shit out of each other. I don't know if this is going to be Chamber or Mania. This is a Mania match, right? It is 1,000%. But like, at Chamber,
we were kind of talking Canada, but again, like neither of them are from Toronto.
But still, it's like
I think it should be a Mania match.
And that should be the main event of the Chamber. To be completely honest with you, they could put that on. I mean, last year they had Rhea main event with Nia, so like, why not have them do it this year?
I would prefer Mania,
but then it's like, what are they doing at Mania?
That's
the other side of the coin. So I think I'd prefer it at Mania because I also think you can drag out Sammy like being dead
Sure,
until
yeah.
literally until
Yeah.
have him come back the Monday after the Chamber. Like
Yeah.
have him be out for a month. Like really have him sell it.
Yeah.
And then you have like a month and a half till Mania, and then boom, you're good.
Then we had, like we were talking about, Alexa Bliss qualifying for Elimination Chamber.
Love it.
Bliss is using a I can't remember if it was a version. It might have been a modified
version
of Sister Abigail,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, perfect.
Nice touch.
Love it.
Also, the screen was glitching out and stuff during her match. I
don't really remember.
Yeah, Wyatt 6
Oh,
stuff. Yeah.
a good catch.
And
I don't
then
remember.
the Wyatt 6 account on Twitter tweeted out
interesting.
because they put out, this was months ago when they were like getting going. They had like a website and they put out like one words, and it was like a poem for each thing. It was like she. It's like she. The door's open. It's up to her if she wants to walk through whatever. And then after that match, they go she. So like people like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who. People speculated that that's who they were kind of referring to. But
makes
now
sense.
it's like she did the Sister Abigail, version of the move. The things were happening. So
she still has the look she had
exactly. I think at Chamber we're gonna see maybe like lights go out. Nikki Cross comes in.
Yeah,
like,
drags her down the ring or some shit. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So I'm very interested to see how she gets included back into it.
with you.
I liked it when she was involved years ago.
Then to end the show, we had Cody and Jimbo defeating
Big
Jacob
Jim.
Fatu and Tama Tonga in an all right match.
Yeah,
It was whatever.
it was,
The real story here is Solo Sikoa returns, spikes Cody Rhodes
And
to
that
close
damn
off
black hoodie.
SmackDown.
That damn
the black hoodie, man. Don't
comes
trust
back.
anyone in
if
a black
you see
hoodie.
someone showing up in black hoodie, assume
Run.
it's Solo. Yeah, I
Um,
mean it's Solo's back in the mix, I guess.
Yeah, what are we doing? what are we doing
I'm
here?
done. Like I'm all for I don't have an issue with Jacob Fatu being involved in the championship picture and him doing stuff with Cody because he's never had a match or he's whatever. But Solo's had the matches. We know he's not gonna fucking beat Cody. He lost to Roman, so I'm kind of done with Cody Solo.
I'm also just
I'm just not interested.
I know Cody is always going to be synonymous and involved, and there's always going to be story there with the bloodline.
But they're making it worse. WWE. They just keep giving him bloodline stuff.
I have been excited because of how the Elimination Chamber's looking to not have as much bloodline stuff this year with Cody. Have something a little fresh for Cody. If he faces Roman again, fuck it, sure. But it's kind of nice to look at Elimination Chamber, and it could be a Cena, could be a Punk, could be a Seth, could be a whoever.
Yeah.
And we're stepping. It was nice to have Cody step out of a little bit of just the Sol Sikoa stuff. As much as, again, like you said, as much as I love Jacob being in the mix.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just not watered down. I mean, I guess you can
repetitive.
Say.
Maybe
repetitive might be a better word. I will say, happened early in the night when they set up the match. Jacob Fatu, man, on the mic, bro. He's is
nice.
I just can't
He's
believe.
great.
I can't believe how good he is. I genuinely. It's they were obviously they bring him in and they're not going to have him go off the mic. They want to treat him as this big scary character. But now that he's fucking running shit on his own and they're letting him go crazy, dude. It's every day, every week that goes by, I'm I feel each week we're getting, so it's let's say him winning the championship, the WWE has this plan of him winning the WWE championship in a year. I think each promo that goes by, WWE's maybe we up it, maybe 11 months. Oh, maybe 10 months now. I think we're getting closer and closer to him being a world champion because he just keeps impressing every week. And it's
he's the
has
pure
everything.
He's the pure definition all around of a natural.
Dude, he has everything.
It's awesome.
And I thought it was funny. People pointed it out. I think it was Jey Uso. He called Jey older cousin or big cousin. People was oh my god, I forgot that Jay's 8 years older than him. You look at them, it's you'd think Jacob was the older cousin or whatever.
Jacob is starting, and some would argue has. I don't know if necessarily has, but he's creeping up and starting to surpass Solo in terms of
I take him more seriously than Solo. I say it. I know Solo's been in the more prominent stories. He's had the world title matches, main events, summer. I get that, but as far as you look at the two and who I think is the bigger threat and who has the better moveset and is a better on the mic, and I'm saying all this not disrespecting Solo because he has improved.
On the mic, I'll give Solo some credit. Solo on the mic, but In ring, Jacob's way more entertaining and brutal to watch. I agree.
think Solo has has vastly improved over the year and stuff, but it's just the rise of Jacob Fatu. You can't ignore it. Like,
it's unreal.
You
it really is. Yeah, I really hope whatever plans they had,
stick to it.
I hope, or either stick to it, or if they had different plans and they see the rise of Jacob, be like, fuck it, we're all in on Jacob.
Dude,
you know
honestly,
what I mean?
and we haven't talked about him in weeks because he hasn't fucking done anything. Put him up against Shinsuke Nakamura and just have him murder him at this point. Just take the US belt from him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
As much as I love Shinsuke, as happy as I was to see him win.
Thrilled when he won it, but now I'm just
it's real unfortunate.
Now I'm like, they shouldn't have taken it off LA Knight. They should have just kept it on him or given it to Carmelo or someone.
Yeah, Melo would have been good.
That's a conversation for another day.
With that said, though, that's the show, folks. We're gonna head over to patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. We have 17 comments here. We got a bunch of questions. We're chatting the Super Bowl, and what have you. So it's a bonus wrestling Q&A podcast over there.
Hell yeah.
Please make sure you subscribe. Please leave your likes. Please follow us on everything. We have merch in the description, and that's it. That's it. I felt good.
That was a good podcast.
Next, It was no 2 hour barn burner like last week. They can't all be 2 hour barn burners.
We can't just give that away.
Please catch up on everything you missed on the channel, folks.
Yeah, we got
and we got stuff coming out.
Peace.
Halftime performance, Kenny.
Yeah, definitely got mixed responses.
What are 3 things you like about yourself and 3 things you can work on? Holy fuck. Okay. What 3 matches would you show to someone to get them into wrestling? Ooh, great question. Oh, underrated one, Mexicools. In the fucking tractors.
Oh, yeah.